We should be good.
Wow, good job, dude.
Thanks,
Everybody
man.
get some claps in chat for Spooo. It only took 11
Come
minutes.
on. Did I grow in wisdom? Or I just lost an idiot point? Did my wisdom go up 1 point?
Well, I don't know if you gained a wisdom, but you just -1 idiot point.
Oh. Sweet.
So, okay, so now I don't feel crazy, okay? About NFTs.
Oh.
Okay? So I want to see the perspective. I want to get it from everybody else now.
Okay.
Now that it's getting closer. We're getting closer to that moment. You think Twitch just accidentally did a poll on NFTs?
I don't know. That's what everyone's talking about, right? Well, that's what I'm seeing people talk about. Like, oh, if they're doing a poll about it, they're definitely gonna implement it. That's not necessarily the case, but
of course they are.
But yeah,
they already. So somebody pointed out that they've already given away 1 NFT through Twitch Prime with one of the games.
Right.
And apparently it wasn't a direct NFT. It was like a token, and then you get an NFT out of it or something. But it's like, so they're already distributing them.
Yeah.
So here we are. And then they do a poll about NFTs. And then you get all the Twitter cronies yelling, blah, blah, NFTs. But you've already got NFTs on Twitter. If they're really that mad about NFTs, maybe they should get off Twitter too. And yell at Twitter. Because Twitter be doing it. Instagram be doing it. How many people need to integrate it before people go, maybe this is kind of the thing? But I know a lot of people are also looking at the market
it's just like mass implemented, I guess. I don't know.
Like, you know, at what point is what's mass implemented? What needs to happen?
Well, I mean, I guess you could compare it to like the stock market, right? Like, not everyone's involved in the stock market, and there's people out there that really hate it and they're like against it. So, I mean, I think there's always going to be that side.
But I think the correlation to NFTs and stocks is a poor correlation.
Yeah.
It's a symbol of involvement in something. That's really what it is, right? Like, there's NFTs out there that are one-of-one art pieces that have no function. They're just that art. They're just that piece of art on the blockchain. That's it. And artists have chosen to go on there. I believe that NFTs, the framework of NFTs and crypto, empower the creators leading those projects. It empowers them. It empowers you as a creator if you want it to. And people are starting to learn that. People are starting to learn that third parties having their fingers in the mix on your shit. It's not good. It's not fun, right?
Well, yeah, and then like even if or when, you know, Twitch does this, like I doubt it's going to force users to play along, but
no, absolutely not. I don't think it will. I think it'll be like an extension. I bet you, like, YouTube's already doing it. So the people who are going, well, I'm going to YouTube, I'm leaving Twitch now because Twitch mentioned NFTs. The YouTube CEO already sat down with Ludwig, talked about it.
Yeah.
Right? They talked about it live or on a video. It's just like,
where are you gonna go?
Where are you gonna run? Like, you could run to smaller platforms that aren't doing anything.
Yeah.
So it's just the shift. We're watching the shift happen over time, slowly. It's good. It's good to see. Worst case, like, everybody's looking at the market right now and saying it's all failing, right?
Yeah.
Which is totally not true. It's just people are exiting the market because panic, because people need money.
Yeah.
Like,
the trends keep. I mean, the same
going on.
I mean, I hate to say that things are just going to keep repeating themselves, but that's how it always is, right? Like, obviously, we want change in the world and stuff, but like when you look at trends, they just keep repeating. Maybe this is the timeline where it breaks, right? Where the trend finally breaks, but
which trend?
The trend of people freaking out and markets crashing, and then boom, it goes back up, and then people freaking out and markets crashing, and boom, it goes, you know, it's just like,
I think it's always going to be a thing.
Yeah,
because there's always going to be people who live in the the emotional part of things.
Yeah.
It was. Oh no, sorry, I was listening to Asmongold. I thought it was you. I was listening to an Asmongold video the other day.
I'm not bald yet, dude. Okay.
Yeah, sorry. I just got a big mistake here. But he was talking about that. He was talking
shit,
about how like everybody's just falling apart on you. But he was talking about like you can't just go around making decisions off emotion. Like it's not going to get you anywhere, right? And that's what I think a lot of people have been doing over the past couple of years, maybe even decade. Because like you start looking back on things, this trend has been happening for a while of the emotional decisions, right? Mm-hmm. And when the pain comes, when the market pain comes, which is here, it's now. Mm-hmm. The ones who have not built, it's true, it could get worse. You don't know, but the ones who have not built a strong foundation and whatever they're doing are the ones feeling the most pain right now. Right? Because they don't have a foundation. They built off emotion. They didn't know what they were talking about. But in a flourishing market, everybody wins. But when the pain comes, the ones who feel the pain first are the ones who are not built strong. Ford tough.
Ford tough.
What some say.
Yeah. Yeah. Ford tough.
You will always be on the left.
Canyon arrow. Yeah. What are some of the things you think Twitch would do with NFTs and crypto?
I bet you they're thinking the same thing as YouTube, is like clips in some way. And I'll tell you why, because there's already sites that are doing this where it's
taking
setting
advantage
up so
of them.
You can extract your clip into an NFT. You as a creator can sell those NFTs and people can own your moments. Like it's actually called a moment. And it's built on Flow, I believe, which is the same as like NBA Top Shot and NFL and stuff. So if sites are already doing this and there's a market around it, let's say there's 1,000 people, 50,000 people, I don't know, and they're engaging with this market, Twitch will eventually go, wait a second, that's our content. That's from our site. Why are we letting our creators extract the content from our platform and go make money somewhere else? We need to do this in-house. Mm-hmm. And YouTube's probably doing the same thing. They're reacting off the market and going, wait, people are going somewhere else to make money. We should be the ones helping you make money. So it's just a market reaction to me. They're late. They went with the emotion. They made decision based off people's emotion and said, whoa, everybody's freaking out about NFTs and scam and stuff. We better not touch it because nobody's going to like it, right? Sometimes the things that we don't like are the things that bring the best change in the world.
So I've not gotten into NFTs. I think you know this. I mean, I've looked at them a lot and stuff, and I've just, I've never pulled the trigger on anything. Like, so for me, I still feel like I'm in the research phase because of things that go wrong, right? Because I don't want to make a bad decision, and I think that's what people should do. Don't just dive in because it's like, oh, maybe I can make a quick buck. Like, I'm taking my time with it because I don't want to get effed.
That's the problem, is like looking at it from a financial standpoint, right? These aren't, like, at a core of it, it's a way of making money, right? The person who mints the NFTs, you can make some money from it. The community side of it should not be thinking about money, and it should not be told or
it's like thinking
in
about
that
just
manner.
Growing a community, because then everybody would win in that sense.
It's a community tool. That's truly what it is. And it's a community tool that can allow you to engage with them in a very unique way by giving them stuff, and you know who's truly into it. Because these things can be traded so easily, and if you don't like the thing that you're being a part of, you're going to get rid of it. So if you allow the NFTs for long enough to spread themselves into the community, and then the right people get it, then that's the time you start really engaging. But a lot of projects are launching with all the hype, and the hype brings the market people, the people who want to just make a quick buck. So you don't get the community sense right away. But then it fizzles out. All that market shit fizzles out, because then eventually there's enough people that go, I want this thing. I want this thing for the community that I'm being a part of. Right? So like the NFTs I've gravitated to are ones that are about storytelling, are about learning something, and like get some sort of real world value from. Right? So like I'll just tell you, I have like a weed stock, a weed stock. I have a weed like NFT where it's like they do like weed stuff and like there's memorabilia and whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't even like I don't even ask for any of that stuff. I just like seeing what they're doing. And then I have one that's like an artist, and he's planning on doing classes and everything, and you can go learn his way of doing animation and stuff. Like that's the core of it. And then there's the Batman one, which is I love DC, like I love Batman, and I'm excited for the stories they're going to be telling with those things. So I get to be a part of it and vote on these things. So there's the context of like the things that I gravitate to, as opposed to just looking for someone to make a quick buck.
Right. Comparable to like the way you should choose stocks too, you know, things you believe in, you're into, and you know. Obviously, there's the ones that you know will just like, I don't know if crypto or NFTs really have that. Yeah. But yeah.
As opposed to
I think that's the smart way to go anyway. You always want to invest in the things that like you believe in.
It's not an
and you
investment.
Understand.
No, but that's the thing. Like people need to stop thinking that way. That's where it gets you in trouble.
Well, like it's still like believing in something, you know?
Sure, yeah. But like if you talk about
terminology might not be the best choice, but
like imagine, like I've always been passionate about Halo, right? Imagine the first Halo that came out was like some sort of NFT. To this day, I'd have it still in my wallet, right? And then now along the years, they've kind of engaged off of it, and I could have like been more ingrained into what they're doing because they know they can tap into each person a lot easier, and they can communicate like specific stuff. So that's the interesting part. So if we like correlate it with marbles, if like we did, or like Pixel, the studio, we could do like a series that maybe gives you access to all our future games. Is when they're in beta, anybody with the NFT, and we could just program it into the game instead of going, all right, guys, sign up to the beta, right? And then you have to go around and get all this shit. You just verify your wallet, and then boom, like you're in, and you get access to our games because we know you want to be a part of this ecosystem. Because you want our NFT. Like that's the way I perceive it. And creators can do this very easily, and it empowers the creator, empowers the communities, because the more those NFTs move, the more the money comes in for transaction fees to the creator, and then the creator can put that back into the ecosystem, right? Shitty NFTs are not going to make the creator money, right? And then if the creator is doing poor things, the market will tell you, like. The market's gonna be like, don't support this guy. I don't like he's not putting the money back in the system. They're not doing this, right? So it's just like a pure market.
That's where a bunch of people could be afraid, right? If you do put money into something, and then if that creator isn't doing anything with it, then it's like they're taking the money, and then it's like that's kind of what people are afraid of, I think.
So what's the difference to you buying a shitty ass game off Steam?
Right. No, it's very comparable to other things. And it's
like you get nothing out of it.
Yeah. I guess you can return the Steam game.
Let's say you play it for 2 hours.
Yeah.
Right? It's beyond that point. So now you can't return it.
Right. You gotta decide within an hour or two.
Yeah. Like that's gone.
Yeah.
If the key was an NFT, then you can sell it back to somebody who wants it or something. Somebody who actually likes it. Or maybe it'll be nobody looking to buy it because it's garbage. Whatever.
Right.
Yeah, man. It's good to see just more conversation on it. I think it's important.
Yeah, I think it's just I was very interested, and that's why I brought it up to you. I was interested in seeing just from a poll, right? Just from a poll that Twitch put out, like, hey, what do you guys think of crypto and NFTs? And like, I the first post I saw, people were just like freaking out, and I'm like, whoa, like, oh, if they do this, I'm going to YouTube and blah 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 blah. It's like,
yeah.
Yeah.
That's funny. But I read some good posts in there too.
Yeah. Yeah,
like,
there's some
like people are like, yeah, I'm in.
So this is, I'm gonna bring it up here. This is the tweet I saw. Looks like Twitch is polling users on how they feel about crypto and NFTs. What do you think about this? I haven't seen this poll. I don't know if anybody else has, but do you believe any of the following is a good fit for Twitch? NFTs.
You imagine it's not even a real poll and somebody made this.
Oh man, that'd be so good. That would be so good.
Nevio is like the ultimate troll.
Do you believe any of the following is a good fit for gaming? NFTs, cryptocurrency. So what are some of the arguments here? Gamers and artists openly hate and criticize NFTs. Twitch, maybe we should have a survey making sure before we add NFT features to our gamer-heavy streaming site. You know Twitch will add these features anyway if they are asking about them. Gamers and artists openly hate and criticize NFTs? I mean, yeah. There's everybody on both sides, right? Like, I'm a gamer.
Gamers and artists?
I'm a gamer, and I don't openly hate NFTs.
Artists who don't, like, understand them. Because there's been so much work done to make it look like a scam. To make like it's all scams. And only scam people live on it. I mean, crypto's got the same perception. Like, people are doing a very good job of making crypto look like a massive scam.
Mm-hmm.
This massive pyramid scheme.
So that's, I mean, yeah, that's, I guess, a big argument, right? Everybody's scamming.
Yeah. Well,
One
it's
of
like
the talking points, anyway.
It's like there being a big grass field, right? And there's like a couple shits on it from dogs, right?
Couple
and
of
then
piles.
you just like zoom right in on the shit, and you're like, look at this nasty shit.
I can't
field.
believe this field has shit all over it.
Right?
But you're not looking at the flower.
Yeah, look at all. You zoom out, zoom out,
zoom out, zoom out,
and then you see it all.
Look to the left.
You will always be on the left.
There's flowers over there. Poop over here.
Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah.
That's good. Like, I'm just like, so it just gets me so hyped. I mean, I think the Unknown Marbler is hyped. Do you see his tweet? No, I'm like, cow.
Oh yeah, he was excited about it.
Yeah. He was talking Pachinko NFTs. Oh my god.
So yeah, it's interesting to see people wanting to run to YouTube. And that just shows that they're not doing the research too. Like, if you've done the research, you know YouTube is they're doing the same thing. So
they said it first publicly. It's not just a poll.
Yeah.
Like, she's like the way she talked about it was basically like, I know you don't understand it, but we're gonna do it. And it's gonna be good for you.
Yeah.
And it's like, man. Sportscast? I mean, BitCloud's still building. They're still there. I still have everything there. I haven't extracted shit. I'm still there.
Same.
It's just, they haven't built as strong as I thought they would. They haven't built the right things. They're leaning too far. Like, they have a different vision. At least they've evolved over time.
But I mean, that just goes into things like, don't invest more, or invest might not be the right word or whatever, but don't put in money that you don't have. And things fail, but things also don't fail, or things stagnate before they grow. Like, how many streamers are stagnating right now?
Oh yeah.
Streamers constantly stagnate, and then you got to figure out how,
80%?
if you believe in what you're doing, you got to figure out how you're going to get there.
Yeah,
but yeah, for me, like, I don't know. I don't know. Like, I don't want to say miss out, but like, I can see that certain things are going to be a big part of the future, or at least that's how I feel. And people have their right to feel that, things are not going to go anywhere with this stuff or whatever. But there's always, especially with with the new age things happening, there's going to be so many failures. Of course, there's going to be so many failures, and there's so many people trying new things, and that's how things grow to begin with, right? Like, I'm scared of the beginning of this NFT stuff, right? I don't know a lot about it. I'm afraid to get into it because of things that I see too, like scams. So it's like, I really want to do my research and make sure I make the right choices. And I don't know. I just don't see it not being a thing. I think it's very possible, or, people can do whatever they want and just not be a part of it their entire lives. And that's fine too. But I think at this point, it's going to be a thing forever. So I don't know.
Yeah, it just keeps getting more interesting. Like, there's some system being built where items are NFTs, and then you trade the NFT. right? And then whenever somebody wants to likes and wants that item, they can trade in the NFT and they'll get the item in the mail. So like it could be a collector's item, it could be a table, like it could be anything at that point. And then when you want to put that item back into the system, you'd remint it and then send that item in. And then it's back in storage somewhere, and then people can trade it and hold it, and then like, and this is just like one thing being developed on it, right? Like there's like so many different ideas like that. I just see it just continuing to grow. There's just so many ways to integrate and verify. Like it's 100% verification on stuff.
Yeah.
Right? Like
I mean, the more I learn about it, the more like I don't necessarily know what the heck I would do to get involved in my own type of a thing, but it does sound like a really great community type tool, you know, where everybody would win.
I'll walk you through kind of like what I'm thinking for ours, and because I don't want it to be strictly financial, like I don't want people to look at it and be like when moon kind of shit, right? Or when am I going to make money? So my plan is to launch we're going to do 1,000 NFTs, and I'm going to give them to people in the community who want them, right? I'm just going to give them to them. I'm going to pay for the mint. I'm going to pay for the transfer fee. So just right into your Ethereum wallet whenever you want it, right? So I'll do the farm, and I'll farm it out to the community over time. And then off of that, we're going to do things. So like we'll give you free stuff that'll eventually like tie into our ecosystem, tie into the games that we're building. And those initial ones could give you access to our games in the future, right? So if we, for example, we're building bingo on stream, instead of me being like, who wants to be a part of it? I just put in the game and say, if you have a key, get this and you'll be able to play. People who don't have the key won't be able to play. Right? And then we get the beta testers who want to be a part of our ecosystem. I think that's so important, is like understanding who wants to be a part of this. Because the people who want to be a part of it will hold on to it because they love it. And then you can, like as a creator, you can do all kinds of stuff off that. You could do merch drops and have a website that's tokenized, and then your community who owns the merch or owns the thing can go to your website. You can even make it a public sale, right? So like the merch is free, like you got to go there to buy it. People with tokens come in and get one for free because you've 100% validated that they have it because it's in their wallet. So you don't need to worry about identity anymore, right? It's just like who owns this stuff, and then that's who can engage with it.
So Sports made a comment, and like I'm trying to think differently about this too, because a lot of it has been it's like money. Like people look at it as money a lot of the time, and like I'm trying to see it differently, and I get it. It is dumb as hell to look at a picture of an ape that's like doesn't look that great, and it's like worth millions, right? It's weird as hell. It's weird as hell.
Well, it doesn't look that great as perspective, right? Yeah. I don't own one. I don't own one, but I respect the art and the way it's done.
Yeah.
Like if you think it doesn't look that great, fine, but it's got good artwork in it. Like it takes a lot of work to build these things out, and for people to look at artwork, like it's like somebody looking at your stream and be like, it's garbage.
Right? No, yeah.
Perspective, right?
Yeah. But and again, that comes down to knowledge and knowing what goes into creating something like that. Like I don't know what it takes to create something like that. Just because it looks simple doesn't mean it is simple.
Yeah, like they minted like 10,000 at the start or whatever, right? And like all of them are randomly generated with different assets. So all those assets have to be drawn, made, layered together, make sure they work well together, make sure they look decent. Like that takes so much time and effort. And I would challenge anybody to try and do the same thing if you can. And I think that's the challenging part, is when you start actually diving in. Like even us, like I was thinking about doing marbles, and there's a lot of rendering work that would go into it, like a lot of hours. So I'd have to assign one of the guys to sit there and farm it out. I mean, Jojo saw something that I got something contracted. Jojo saw the output from it, and it's a lot of assets. Like, and even just aligning all that work to like create the different assets is a lot of work too. So it's not just creating them, and then it's the putting it all together and then selling it, right? And then creating the hype around it. Like the hype that Bored Ape Yacht Club has generated, I'm sorry, but anybody who attacks that is an idiot. Like, I challenge anybody to generate that kind of hype around something.
Yeah.
Anything, the project you're building,
Especially
the next event you're
something
doing.
that like people consider to not look good, right? Or whatever it is. Like, oh, these things
Yeah.
are stupid, but then how are so many people rallying around it? Are they all just greedy assholes? I don't think so. I don't know. Like, why would
There's
you?
people holding on to this shit like they don't care how much it goes up. It's theirs.
Yeah.
So that if you're greedy, you would have sold out
Yeah.
at that point.
Which some
I'm
people
sure
do.
that,
It's
yeah,
not like there's people not out there not doing it. There's spectrums of people everywhere, but yeah.
for sure.
Obviously,
For
it
sure.
wouldn't stick around as long as it did if everybody was doing that.
Exactly. And now they're doing like a game, like stuff that you can log in and play. Their coin is building into
That's
the
where
world.
the really power comes into, man. And once you have NFTs and you're part of this community or whatever, like the things that it can unlock and it or whatever, like for supporting it.
There's also like there's some that do point systems, right? So you'll stake the NFT that you own, and then you'll earn points off of it every so often, and then you could do things with the points in the ecosystem, right? So it's like channel points, right? Except channel points, it's very hard to validate if somebody's engaging with you 100%, right? But channel points, I think, are a good example of the idea of an NFT, the idea of crypto being involved in it. It's just they don't allow you to do anything with it because there's a whole bunch of legal issues once you get into that realm of like real money getting in, like the exchange of things. And that's where the true like unknowns are. That's why people are freaked out, is because all this money's being moved around and there's SEC laws and people are like, you know, XRP got taken to court and that's still going on. So it's like there's a lot of unknowns that people are afraid of. But if they just came out with regulation and said, hey, this is like this, then there'd be a lot more comfort and people would start flooding in. But it's like all the fear of like getting scammed and stuff. And really, there's no difference to you getting scammed on your NFT or your crypto wallet to like your bank account, except the bank is going to save you for being stupid. The bank you can call and be like, yo, I did something stupid. Can you help me? And they'll be like, yeah, right? Try not to let this happen again. So there's insurance on that kind of stuff. In NFT world, there's no insurance. But I think if you break things down even further from that, if you think about the cause and effect of that, how many costs are there for recovering stupid people's fraud shit? Like how many costs are associated on society for those kinds of issues?
A lot.
And if we just accepted that if you made a stupid transaction and you lost $100 on something dumb, it's your fault and you should be responsible for that 100%. Right? And that's what crypto world is. That's basically what it is. If you click on the wrong link and you lose all your shit from your wallet, it's your fault. It's on you.
What do you think about the whole Seth Green thing? You hear about that? I'm sure.
Well, somebody just mentioned in chat, but I don't know enough details about it. But it's if they lost a Bored Ape, they probably
he clicked the wrong link. Yeah,
Yeah.
He even says it. He got it from a phishing site. Or he got fished or whatever. I don't know.
But that's the thing is, it's not just clicking a link. It's clicking a link and approving the transaction, unless your auto transactions approve. So when people even do this, they're diving into FOMO and they're not operating properly. Like if you really want to accept crypto and you want to be okay, this is how I want to operate. You have a cold wallet somewhere that the seed phrase has never touched your computer, right? It's written down somewhere. You can even get these like metal bands where you stamp your seed phrase onto and it's fireproof and everything, right? You shove that into a safe somewhere that's safe, right? Gone out of the way. So you have that. Then you operate with a hot wallet, and then you just interact with all the different sites that you want to, and then transact everything out back to your cold wallet. Now, if you want to get really aggressive, you have a third wallet. So you have your hot wallet, which is what engages with everything. And then you have your like secondary hot wallet, which is like the things go to their secondary. And then you interact with your trusted sites with that secondary wallet. And then you put all the things you want out in the safe wallet. The problem right now with specifically Ethereum,
It's a lot of wallets.
It's a lot of wallets, but if you think about it,
No, it makes sense. I think that it is that can be like saying what you said. It can be overwhelming to people for sure because it's
for sure
switching wallets and all around here. So they're like, f that.
Yeah, but technically you've done that.
But it's like you're being in control of yourself, right? So like you said, if there's nothing to cover the fraud or whatever, like you're covering your own ass. So that's like the steps you're taking.
Savings account, checkings account, stock trading account, like tax-free savings account. Like there's all these different accounts. You have to go to the bank and get approved and get them set up. You've done it, right? You've already done it. It's just it's masked under some different system.
It's
That's
more
all
and
it
it's
is.
different, and different is scary.
Yeah. So instead of you going to ask permission of a bank to open an account for you, you can go to a crypto exchange or a wallet and just make your own wallet. And now you have control, 100% control of your assets. Nobody can do that. Only the people with the seed phrase can affect that wallet.
My seed freeze.
Yeah. And once you understand that, like you have control of your shit. And
Yeah.
that's it. You can travel around the world and you have access to your shit. If you travel around the world, do you have full access to your stuff? I
No.
bet you not. Right? If you have $20,000 in the bank
you gotta,
and
like,
you go over,
Yeah. You
there's
gotta,
shit
like,
that
go to
goes
the
with that, right?
exchange and exchange the. I've done
Yeah.
that before or whatever. Like in Mexico, you go to the place and you trade the money
Yeah,
for the
and
money.
then
And
you
like,
get
here's this
rates.
money, and here, you take this money.
And then you don't know if there's exchange rates, right? You're getting raked on that probably,
Yeah.
right? There's a whole bunch of stuff that people need to like understand and break down before they start just shitting all over crypto. Because these systems are already in place. It's just now you have full control. Now, do you need to do research to understand which chains you're interacting with, which sites you're going to be poking around with, which projects you engage with? Yes, absolutely. But it's the same thing as like you getting emails about, cleaning your eaves troughs or something, or like your air ducts. If you get this stuff and you click the link and then you sign up for the program and send them a couple $1,000s because you want your air ducts cleaned, this is the same crap.
Yeah.
You're still getting shafted.
Yeah, I don't click thousands of emails.
Yeah.
Thousands.
Like I still think that I'm getting more scam from email and phone than I am through any crypto.
Right.
I mean, I've yet to be scammed on crypto because I'm aware of it.
Yeah.
Well,
That's the thing. At this point, it's like we're so used to being scammed in texts and emails and phone calls. We're so used to it now. It's like NFTs is a new thing, and crypto is a newer thing, newer.
Yeah.
So it's like, I mean, there's scams everywhere, but you gotta, yeah, especially in new stuff. Another argument is that was brought up too. How do you feel about the energy consumption, environmental impact of crypto and NFT transactions?
Yeah, I mean,
That's one that's brought up a lot.
I bought into that at first, and then I just started hearing the arguments, and it's just like, yeah. I mean, only a couple of the chains are super aggressive on energy right now. But Ethereum's going to change. Ethereum's going to proof of stake, which changes everything. So I heard it might be August. Bitcoin uses the most, right? But there was an argument. Oh man, I don't remember it. But it was comparing the Bitcoin energy consumption to like all the air conditioners, I think it was, and like it was all the air conditioners in the U.S. And it was like all the air conditioners do way more consumption, right? It's like, so when you start layering and understanding the breakdown of how these things work and the benefit,
That's why we all just need to
systems,
move to the what's it called, the upper part of Canada. Then we won't use AC. We'll just build fires.
Yeah, but it just like there's so many like value propositions for crypto that I feel like squashes how many ATMs are running, how many like of these useless buildings filled with tons of like what do you call it, like office people, like just useless people that are just doing random shit for a company that's tracing all the transactions, right? Like Visa. How many buildings does Visa own that are pretty much unnecessary? It's just they need the manpower to support the customer service.
Yeah, makes sense.
If you shut that down, and because of crypto, then does your energy argument even stand? Does it even stand if it crushes other systems that are just wasting energy? Bitcoin, like I've even heard arguments where it's like, if there's excess energy in the system, you offload it to Bitcoin because excess energy gets wasted energy anyways. So are we even fully consuming all the energy on our grids? I think that's an argument to be had as well.
I don't know.
If that's true. If stuff is like if the energy grids are not being fully consumed, right? And stuff just fizzles off into the distance, then why not put it towards something that could benefit society and allow people to control their own money? And not allow like governments to destroy their currency. which is also something currently in play. If people don't see that, there's a whole nother thing. So, like, there's just so many different arguments at play. It's just like, how do you want to attack this? Because here's another thing, is like, if you attack Bitcoin and it's like, oh, look at all this energy consumption. How much energy consumption did all the servers running Google say cost, right?
And
how good's
giant
that?
Corporations.
Well, yeah, and like
yeah, it's
Facebook
just another.
and all
It's
this
like
stuff.
just another thing, you know. Yeah.
So I'm really interested to see, like, I would love to see all the cost comparisons to that. And
well, and then it's like you're taking the. I feel like you got to look at the efficiency too, maybe like you were talking about before. Like how efficient is a building full of people compared to, something like Bitcoin. Well, that's basically not automatically run, but I mean, kind of is.
It is. There's no corporation behind Bitcoin.
Right.
Like, the code is out, it runs. So you run a node and you're a part of Bitcoin.
But what about my bank job?
What about your bank job?
I don't want to lose my bank job.
Yeah, I mean, that's scary, right? The economical impact of, like, all the jobs being shifted.
Yeah.
That's a whole nother world. But I think it's better to make the shift and cause the pain than it is to just force society down a chain just to keep jobs. Right? Like, are we going to ban automation? Are we as a society going to ban automation and say, no, you cannot automate? No, bad, right? We need jobs. Because that's essentially what we would be doing. Is like saying no to automation. You cannot automate nothing. Factories, we have to have people there. So there's going to be pain, right? With all, like, automated driving is coming. Like, if you don't see it and you're not starting to prepare yourself and be like, yo, I'm in a driving job, maybe I should start retraining. I have 5 years, I have 10 years to reshift, right? Because when the pain comes, when the shift comes,
yeah, automated truck drivers, that's probably terrifying for a lot of people.
Yeah.
Truck drivers, there's so many of them, and they're important.
Absolutely, very important. They move. They're like the lifeblood of countries, right? They just move everything. They're moving everything around the world. So it's like, what are those people going to do? Well, maybe they'll support the automation. I don't know, right? Like, what jobs will be available because of that? Because there's always going to be another job. It's just you have to shift. You have to shift. And I think most people should just lean into tech. Like, lean into some sort of programming job. If you're going to, like, hardware, like dealing with the hardware of it, learning to build that. I don't know what that is. Like, is that engineering?
Yeah.
But that's where I think, just long term, I think that's an important direction.
Sin mentioned I don't want something I cannot touch or make tangible, and I was just thinking about that. Like, how tangible is really, like, a plastic card? Like, you have a plastic card that says you have money somewhere.
Yeah.
I'm just thinking about it. Like, obviously, for me, it feels a little bit better, maybe, in my mind, like, that I know. But at the same time, I don't know, dude. I'm just lost on what I'm trying to say, really. But
no, you're going down the right
how much more
route.
tangible is this piece of plastic, or even the pile of money or coins that you have? Than
I think there's still an argument that, like, having a pile of cash in your house, is tangible, right?
Yeah, it feels good to have a fat stack, right? That's why the rappers and the people are all throwing it around their music videos.
Yeah. But when you come to, like, when you put money in the bank, to think that it's still tangible to you, I think is incorrect. Like, maybe $20, like, you can go and get it. But if you're talking thousands, you can't go to the bank and just withdraw everything. Even they'll stop you. They'll be like, we need a couple days.
I do agree it's more tangible, I guess, but it's still, like, yeah.
It's just because we haven't fully, like, accepted crypto, like, into our space yet, into everything. Once it happens, people will start onboarding.
What if
I've heard about
coin that you actually got, you were sent like a sticker.
Yeah.
Hey.
I mean,
there it is.
There's hardware wallets, right? If you want to really be tangible, there's hardware wallets, and then you just go around with these.
That's safer too. So it's like, it feels better,
like,
and then you have it there.
Then it's tangible to you, right? So the argument of tangibility, like, it's just, here it is, right? Here's all my currency, boom. And that's not true, but I would have many if I did that. But like, I don't think banks are going to go completely, but I think the banking industry, like the amount of money it soaks out of you, is going to change. Like, all this is going to change, all from this idea of, like, you know, self-custody.
Yeah.
But the idea of, like, I don't want to have crypto, I don't want to have to be forced to use crypto or something. I think there'll be worlds where the banks will take care of you. Like, you'll have your bank account and you'll have crypto accounts within your bank account. Like, that's probably the future. And then the banks will insure your coin. And then you won't be managing seed phrase. Like, a normal user will not manage seed phrases. You won't have to do that shit. The banks will do everything for you. But I think we're heading that way anyways. CBDCs are being talked about with countries, right? Like, if you're in the States, they're talking about this. They're talking about doing their own currency, which is crypto. So for you to even say, I don't want to deal with crypto, you should go talk to your government and be like, yo, like, I don't want this to happen. You guys should stop developing that CBDC and putting money towards it, putting my tax dollars towards it. Like,
But it's still optional, right? Like, it's still always going to be optional.
No, there's no way that's optional.
Maybe like, that.
The CBDC system, the way that they're talking about it, nah, that's forced, man. Like, if you're going to want to pay your taxes or like do all these things in society, they're going to force you to use that. But it's
that will be a lot more efficient.
Right? Well, if they're able to just, like, parse all the transactions, you could probably that can pay your taxes, right? That can deal with it. But it's really interesting.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I don't know where this goes.
Somebody, I think it was Sally, brought up. I think I've heard something about crypto insurance. Is that becoming a thing? I feel like I saw something on that the other day, but like something that I guess protects you a little bit. I think a lot of that is coming from this whole Seth Green thing too. Like I think whatever happens with this Seth Green thing could make an impact on, because he's like trying to sue, or I don't know. He's trying to do something. I'm not fully invested in it, but I know he's trying to do something to figure out how to get it back without. But it's like this one guy bought it for $200,000 or something, and now he has it. But he bought it from the guy who stole it, so and he's just like, it's mine. Like, I have it.
Oh, I see.
You know.
Interesting.
Yeah. But yeah, like, Seth Green's like, I just want to talk to, like, he knows who it is. He's like, I just want to talk to him and like maybe figure something out. I don't know, but. So who knows what's going to happen with this? But then I've heard rumblings of maybe taking him to court, or so. Yeah, I don't know.
That's good. I mean, it'll force law to come into play, right?
Well, yeah, I guess it's I guess it's mainstream, right? Like, Seth Green is making a big thing about it, so it's. But a lot of people are seeing it as scam. He got scammed, but also it was his own fault. It's not like somebody just dug into his stuff and took it. He clicked some things and made some decisions that he shouldn't have.
Yeah, man.
We got like 10 minutes left. You want to talk about some Marble stuff?
Yeah. I mean, I've been talking about that every day, basically, just streaming it.
Yeah, Pixel's been streaming a lot more too, and now I'm doing the news show, so there'll be some hot updates on Thursdays on Pixel's channel. And then Raw, we'll spit some stuff here too. Ascension asks, are the new track pieces going to be applied to PPP for the upcoming season, or will PPP be the same as this past season?
If I get time. It hasn't been done yet, so I don't have the full load of pieces yet either.
And then anything new in Marbles on Stream season 34? Of course.
Yeah, there's a lot. This next season is just so much. Like, the
I thought last season was a lot, honestly.
Really?
I mean, maybe it was just the change to Tilted. It was like a bigger change, so it felt like a lot. Maybe.
There's a lot of pieces to Tilted. Yeah, this season we're still trying to get one. We might not get one. And Yeah, we got the automated cameras for paperclip now. Paperclip is 2 times the size marbles. Spawning logic is cleaned up on a bunch of spots. Then we have the test. This is a test is now Tony's Cannoli Derby.
Mm-hmm.
And then marbles are 3 times the size instead of 4 times the size. We've got braking logic. We've got the automated camera there as well.
That's sick.
The braking should be sick. Like, I think it's going to add so much. And then imagine we can end up doing braking on...
Now, you're not in control of the braking. Don't freak out. It's an automatic braking system.
Imagine,
not
that's
right
what I was
now.
just thinking, like channel points, right? Like if we enable it as a channel point redemption, you could brake. The only thing is it doesn't work if there's no physics material on the piece, which means anything that's not simple collision is not going to work. So we still have a lot of work to get all the tracks to work with brakes, but I think brakes will be very interesting. Could you imagine like there was a spot in the map that you can just like you can only get to if you're braking or something, or if, like,
otherwise
you
you'd fly off or something? Yeah.
Yeah, so you could do stuff like that. Then we have I created so much stuff for the builder. So what do we have? We have the new piece set, which is going to be a whole range of stuff with all physics interactions, and you can scale it. You can have big balls in the builder, so you can go from size 1 to 5. So 1 is normal, 5 is 5 times the size. The weight of the balls don't scale, so that's going to be interesting. And then like that whole piece set will scale, so that'll be really cool. Then we have kill pieces now in the map builder, so you can kill marbles with them.
Excellent.
So you could do that. Then we have the new spawner piece, which spawns simple shapes and sends them in a direction, and then you can like manipulate them to be bigger, smaller, or like have physics interactions. See, that will bring some weird stuff, I'm sure, to the builder. Yeah, and then that new tilted piece, and then there's like a chat rewrite, which is really just back end
If you didn't see the bite, the PBPS news show, Pixel put it up on YouTube. There, I went through a couple of hot, like I showed the piece on the screen, so you can go check that out there. It's 15 minutes long, so nothing crazy.
Yeah, the bite's really good. I mean, that'll be really cool to see in action during a season.
Yeah. No, I'm excited. I'm already like ready for this first day because it's like the day after the launch, right? So that's and if we keep it on Wednesdays, and it's always going to be that way, so it's always going to be pretty hype. And
then you could talk about like where the races are at, like who's at what, maybe the top 10
exactly.
or something.
Yeah. No, that'll be the sports section. Welcome to sports.
Welcome to sports. Oh yeah, then the BR biome changes, yeah, and then points for racing. Is we're gonna crank that up.
Cranking up the points.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, Tony just brought that up. Does that include BR points for viewers as well?
Yep.
Also, will BR experience for streamers increase, or is that staying the same?
No, I think it's staying the same.
Experience is staying the same. Yeah, this is a change for racers.
Yeah.
Also, I saw somebody mention they're late or whatever. Bonesman. I'm throwing these up on my YouTube as soon as I can after we're done with them. Also, there's VODs. And then once they're uploaded or whatever, you guys, you can watch it at 2 times the speed, so it's even faster. That's the way to do it. I also, whenever I upload this stuff, guys, I do read through the comments as much as I can. So thank you for putting your input out there. I know we don't read a lot while we're just ranting about stuff, but I watch. And then on YouTube, you guys can see all the comments as well if you missed the comments in chat and whatnot. But yeah, thank you for coming out as always. Pixel, thank you.